Welcome to the TVNews.TV. I'm Jeff Grimshaw in Washington as we present our special, the TVNews.TV White Paper Special, The New World of New Media. Let's review what we know. Innocence of Muslims was posted onto YouTube, and because of its over-the-top offensive nature that targeted the Muslim world, U.S. embassies and consulates have been attacked throughout the Arab world. The U.S. has distanced itself from innocence of Muslims while protecting First Amendment rights back here in America. So what lies ahead in keeping new media content from causing, say, death and destruction the world over? Well, that's what we'd all like to know. So we bring in our consummate new media guru, John Leland from combridges.com. And we welcome you, John. So let me start with a basic question. What are the new media and social media roles in all of this?
Well, I think the fundamental thing is that really recognizing how dramatic the sea change is, where we have all kinds of new producers, both creative and wonderful and malicious and destructive. And that calls for a new kind of media literacy, really, for people to be able to distinguish. Obviously, that's easy for us to say in the West, whereas in other cultures, the educational divide between what people are doing on media and what it really means is much broader. In the short term, my view is that people should be going to YouTube and on those clips flagging it as inappropriate. There are some delicate lines here, but things that provoke violence and hatred really have no place anywhere. And so we need to take action however we can to stop those kinds of media. But the long-term answer is that we have to understand better what's going on and be able to filter out the crap from the good stuff.
Well, I think I know the answer to this question. First of all, I agree with everything you said. Are we going to be seeing more of this? A tremendous cause and effect. Are we going to be seeing more copycatting from agenda-based groups and individuals?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see more of everything. It goes back way for me to like the early days of desktop publishing. People go, oh no, we can't have desktop publishing because people are going to do ransom note designs with every font in the universe, looking horrible. With digital media, the empowerment of everybody to do almost anything opens the door, but there's really great quality stuff and there's a lot of crap. And I think that as citizens, as participants in this new social media power universe, we have to bring the intelligence to go, this is something that, I really don't want to see. This is something that is worthy of my attention. So it does require discrimination. That's not something that we can automatically transfuse into everybody in the world in the next 30 days even. But long term, I think that it's going to be required, that people are going to have to understand that there's a lot of noise in the media universe, and some of it's even destructive. Just like there are a lot of things on the planet that you don't want to put in your mouth, there are a lot of things in the media world that you don't want to allow into your mind or even take seriously. Unfortunately, people are going to take stuff seriously, for example, the Islamic world, by this offensive video. But I think that ultimately we're all going to have to learn that in the world, to get along, we have to filter out the negative stuff. And some people don't deserve to be taken seriously, bottom line.
John, let me ask you, do you think we can strike a real balance between protecting First Amendment rights of free speech in America and protect our sovereignty and our personnel overseas? Can we balance that?
I think that that's going to be an ongoing challenge. The answer, I think, that remains to be seen. It's a very serious challenge that is going to require some substantial education around media literacy. In a world with so many inputs and so much different kinds of information, the ability of consumers to distinguish and certainly the ability of any kind of filtering, and I think we're all against any major kinds of censorship, really requires a more involved participation. And whether or not we can get mass numbers to understand what's going on in this new media environment and in a way that can be constructive and that can move things forward the way we would like it to happen, I think that remains to be seen. there are big questions like that, I mean, the same thing could be said for the environment and global warming. The same thing could be said for people's health and what we put in our mouths. Just like there's some things that we don't want to put in our mouths physically and we know are poison, the same thing happens to our minds. And so each of us as internet citizens, if you will, have to make those decisions. And, you know, there's some people who are not going to be responsible about that. And how we deal with those on an ongoing basis, I think, is going to be a very interesting question. But I agree with you, we're going to see more of it. And so our ability to process it is going to be challenged. But that's part of why I think some of us, at least, are very passionate about media literacy and helping people understand this new media, new marketing environment.
Well, I think you've hit upon it with media literacy, and that's the first step that we've got. We as a global nation and a global village have to take. John, well, obviously we've raised more questions than we've answered, and we should discuss this more, and I'm sure we will. And I want to thank you for coming on with us and being part of this white paper.
Pleasure, and props to you for doing this special edition.
Well, if you are new to the tvnews.tv, we are the only daily internet video report about the TV and new media industry for the TV and new media industry. You get top news plus features with our roster of A-list contributors, and we hope that you will be joining us each and every weekday. And that about does it for this very special edition of the TV News. We thank you very much for watching, and as always, go out and make it a good day.
It's been such an honor to work on planning the CTAM Summit with my partner Ed Carroll. The theme is all about today's evolving digital media ecosystem in also a very multi-generational, multi-platform, multicultural world.
The media ecosystem is changing rapidly in terms of the different platforms available for consumers and how they digest the content. Everyone will participate, everyone will learn. If we can use the conference to understand the platforms and the content and to build a better and cleaner environment, then we can help the consumer navigate through what is increasingly a complex territory.
You'll be able to take away nuggets for your work every day. Plus you'll have a lot of fun by just seeing all of our wonderful colleagues in beautiful, sunny Orlando, Florida.